Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Sheila again, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make these sunflower shirts. They're floral. You can choose any colors of your choice, but I chose two colors, and for this tutorial I'll be using Robin yarn 100% acrylic, and I'll be using color black and color yellow, that mustard yellow. So that's my choice of colors. I want the yellow to pop out as flowers, so that's why I went in for this choice of colors. So I'll be doubling my strand to achieve a medium weight look, since this is very thin. So let's get right into the tutorial. For this tutorial, the first thing I'm going to be showing you is the motif. This is the sample of the floral square that we are going to be making. We are going to be making several of these to join them up and come up with our shirts. So grab your 3.75mm hook, which is an F hook. Focus. This is a 3.75mm. And now I chose two colors, which is black and yellow. So you're going to start off with a slip knot. Then you're going to chain 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to go into the very first chain that you made with a double crochet. So this will count as 2 double crochets. So this counts as double crochet, chain 1. Since there are 4 chains left, it counts as a double crochet, chain 1. Then you make a double crochet in the very first chain that you made. Then you chain 1. Then make another double crochet in that very chain, chain 1. So continue until you have a total of 8 double crochets. So these are 4. There's this first one, then second, third, fourth, chain 1. This is the 5th, chain 1. This is the 6th, chain 1. This is the 7th, and then chain 1, and this is the 8th, and this is our very last double crochet. And you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the third chain of the very first chain 4. So we have a total of 8 double crochets. So this is the end of our very first color, which is black. You're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. And now we are going to introduce our second color, which is yellow, because now we are done with black. So for yellow, you're going to grab your yarn and make a slip knot, and attach it into any of the chain 1 spaces. So find any chain 1 space and attach your yellow. Attach your yellow yarn, make sure it's tight enough. And now you're going to chain 3 and place 2 more double crochets in that same space, and the chain 3 counts as a stitch. So we have a total of 3 double crochets there. Then you're going to chain 2 and place 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. So that means we are going to skip over this double crochet and go into the space. Chain 2, skip the next double crochet and go into the chain 1 space with 3 double crochets. So that's the repeat for this row. Chain 2, go into the next chain 1 space with 3 double crochets. chain 2, go into the next chain 1 space with 3 double crochets, chain 2, double crochet 3 times in the next chain 1 space, chain 2, double crochet 3 times, so this is my very last chain 1 space, and I'm going to go into it with 3 double crochets, of course after my chain 2. And this is what we have right now. You should have 8 groups of 3 double crochets. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So you're going to chain 2 and then slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. You slip stitch there and chain 1 and cut your yarn. That's the end of our second round, which is the yellow round. So we're going to go back to black. Ignore this, we shall deal with them later. So grab your black yarn, and now at this point we are done with this. So we are going to do the final row. So for the final row, you're going to attach your yarn in any chain 2 space. So go into any chain 2 space and attach your boundary color. I don't know what colors you've chosen. You're going to chain 3 and place 2 more double crochets in this same space, like that. And now chain 1, then go into the next chain 2 space with 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. So at this moment we are starting to create the corners of the box. So this is our very first corner. So the only place that's going to get 2 chains is the corner. Other than that, every other space gets 1 chain. So right now, after this corner, you're going to chain 1 and then go into the next chain 2 space with 3 double crochets. Then you're going to chain 1, and now we're going to create our second corner. We are going to do exactly what we did here. So 3 double crochets, this is 1, 2 and 3, then chain 2 and place 3 more double crochets in that same space. So we've created our second corner. You can see the circle is shaping out as a square now. So you're going to chain 1 and do the same thing. So it's this, then a corner, then another group of 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. This is not a corner, so you're going to chain 1 and then create a corner in the next chain 2 space, 1, 2 and 3. This is how it is. And now you're going to chain 2 and place 3 more double crochets in that same space to create the third corner. So you can see this corner, and this corner. So we are left with only 1 corner. So after the corner, you're going to chain 1 and go into the next chain 2 space with 3 double crochets. And now we are going to create the last corner. So chain 1 and place 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. So at this point we've created 4 corners to make our square. So you can see that. Then you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch on top of the third chain at the beginning of our round. So slip stitch there, and you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. So this is how our square looks like. So we are going to do several of these, but before we do that, I have to explain how many you will need depending on your measurements. So my hip measurement is 39.5, so I'll round it off to 40 to get a round figure. So this is one of the boxes. When you try to stretch it to the maximum, you'll get to 4 inches around there. So 4 inches, that means in order for me to get my 40 inches around the hips, I'll need 10 of these around my hip area. So I'll need to do 10 of them. So go ahead and determine how long you can stretch your piece and determine how many pieces you'll need, how many squares of these you'll need to go around your hip area. But make sure that number is an even number, like 10 of them, or 12 boxes or 14 boxes. But I believe this would be able to fit a small to medium. So since I have this, I'm going to go ahead and do at this point I had to show you how to determine the sizes, how many boxes you'll need to do for your size. But then when you're making this this shirt, you first do many of them, but only stopping at row 2, because row 3 we shall be working the final round while joining to different parts. So you're going to go ahead and do a group of these without the boundary color, so that we work the final round while joining onto the next box. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I went ahead to do this part. So I had told you I'll need 5 of them to go around my hip area. So these are my 5. That means this is half of my body. This, when stretched, it will stretch to half of my body. So you will do whichever number you need. I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this look. So you will do something like this, then you extend by 1 on the second level, and also on this side by 1. So I have 5 flowers here and 7 flowers down. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that in a minute in order to achieve this. So literally we are done with shaping our first leg. So we are going to go on our second side, this side, and I'll be showing you how to put it together. Okay, so right now we have this. You should be having this. Go ahead and just finish one of them, just one box like the way I showed you in the beginning. Then now we are going to get our second box. We are going to be attaching it to this one. So let me show you how to do that. So you're going to get your final color, which is black for my case, and I'm going to attach it to this, to any chain to space. We're going to do the same exact thing as we did for the box, just that we're going to be joining. So you're going to chain 3 and place 2 more double crochets in this chain to space, like that. Then you're going to chain 1 and go into the next chain to space, make 3 double crochets, and instead of chaining 2 this time, you're going to chain 1 and then grab your next box here. When you grab your next this box that you're going to attach to, you're going to remove your hook from here, insert your hook in one of the corners here, and then pull through this loop like this, and then chain the second chain. Remember, they have to be 2 chains, but we chained 1. So the second chain comes after attaching to this side. Then make your last 3 double crochets in that same space, like this. Then you're going to chain 1, remove your hook, insert it into the next space. After your chain of 1, remove your hook, insert your hook into the next space, and pull through this loop like this, like that. So you're going to go into the next space with 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Then after this, you're going to chain 1, remove your hook, insert your hook into the next space, and pull through this space. Pull through the loop into this space, and then go into the next space and place a total of 3 double crochets. So now we are at the second corner. So you're going to chain 1, remove your hook, insert your hook in this other corner, pull through, chain your second chain, make your second chain, and then you're going to finish up the corner by placing 3 more double crochets in that same space. So after this, you know what to do. You're going to just go ahead and finish up, because we've finished attaching this. So you're going to chain 1, make 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, create the next corner, which is 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to chain 1 and then 3 double crochets in the next space. Then you're going to chain 1 and make your final corner in this space. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets in that same space. And now you're going to chain 1 and then go into the top of the first chain 3 and pull through your hook and chain 1. So you slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. So this is how your work should look like. We've created corners, 4 corners, so we've turned the circle into a square. So this is the basic knowledge of this motif, how to join it and all. So you're going to go ahead and keep attaching until you get a total of 5 of them. Then when you come down here, you'll get this, let me say this, you'll make one like this, then attach it to this one, but this time you'll be attaching to this side and this side, because we shall be having something like this. So when you're introducing this box, you'll be attaching to this and this at the same time. So let me go ahead and do some I do my 5 of them, and then I show you what I mean by when the motif is joining to 2 sides, and I show you how to go about that. Okay, so right now I'm done with my 5 boxes, because I needed 5 of them for this side. Remember me, I need 10 of them, so 5 on the other side, 5 on this side. So now we are going to go to the second layer of the shirts where we need 7 of them. So I've done 1 box here, so go ahead and do 1, and it's going to be somewhere here. And then for the second one, we are going to be working the second box while joining this and this. So that's what I want to show you. So you're going to grab one of these, attach your black yarn, chain 3, and then place 2 more double crochets in that same space for a total of 3. Then chain 1, go into the next chain 2 space with 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to chain 1 and attach it to this one, because we are joining this part and this part. We want to join this piece onto this side while working this box. So you're going to chain 1, attach your yarn to this corner, chain the second one, and then finish up that corner with 3 double crochets. Chain 1, remove your hook, insert it into the next space and pull through that loop, and make 3 double crochets in the next space, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, remove your hook, insert your hook in the next space and pull through that loop. And now we are creating the next corner. So this is 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Chain 1, remove your hook, insert this, because remember, right now we're at the corner, we are somewhere here, so we need to attach all these corners at the same time. So you're going to insert your hook into this corner and into this corner, so that we join all those 3 corners at the same time. So pull through that loop and chain 1, and then finish up this corner with 3 double crochets. I know it may be hard. If you have an alternative way of joining granny squares, go ahead and use that. If you have a simpler way of joining granny squares, if this is hard for you, go ahead and do the simpler version. At least I've shown you how the granny squares should be placed. So after finishing up this corner, you're going to chain 1, remove your hook, and now we are attaching to this other box that we were leaving out. So remove your hook, insert it into the next space and pull through that loop like that. Then make 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, 2 and 3. Chain 1, remove your hook, attach it to the next chain 2 space, and then now we are creating another corner. So make 3 double crochets in the next space, chain 1, and now we are attaching it to, there's a corner somewhere around here. So you're going to go in between that corner point and you pull through that loop, and then chain the second chain and make 3 more double crochets. I'm sorry for the black, it may not be that visible, but I hope you get the logic. I hope things are easy to understand. If you have an easier way, I repeat, if you have an easier way of joining granny squares, or if you find making a row of single crochets across easier, please go ahead and do that. This may be a bit challenging. So after the 3 double crochets, you're going to go ahead and just finish up this round. So chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, then we are making the final corner. So that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Then I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch on top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round. Then I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. So that marks the end of this square. So as you can see, these are still 5, but we've introduced 2 here. So that means we're going to have, these are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th one here. So go ahead and keep attaching here and here, here and here, here and here, like that, until we get 7 at the bottom, just like we did for this piece. So go ahead and do something like this. Okay, so this is my finished piece. You can see it looks exactly like our very first piece. So you should have 2 panels of if you have 5 here, you should have 7 here. If you have, let me say, 6 here, you should have 8 down. So the number on the second layer, the number of boxes should increase by 2 boxes at the base, these extra 2 boxes. So at this point, I'm going to fold my piece like this, like that. So you should have something like this. So this is one of my sides, and then this is the second side. So what we are going to try to do is to join them to create the shirts. At this point, we are literally done with the shape. I'm going to show you how to join so that we can come up with the shape of the shirts. So we are going to merge these 2 points and join them here. So I hope you can see that shape right now. So the way to do that, I'm going to turn my work inside out. I know it's messy right now. We shall get rid of those strings later on. So I'm going to align this part with this top part and the behind part alone. So the behind to the behind and the front to the top to the top, like that. So you're going to grab your black yarn. I think I should put on a flash so that you can see clearly. So this is the top part of the shirts and this is the downer part. So the way I want to do this, I'm going to go to the top part, the top corner, that very corner. I attach the corner to the corner the other side, like this. And then you attach your yarn. You're going to chain 1 to just join it like that. Then you're going to go into that same space and make a single crochet. So we are joining side to side. So go into the next, make another single crochet in that very space because the space is a bit big. So 2 single crochets in that space. Go in between the 2 double crochets. We are going to be working in between stitches. So go in between the first and the second double crochet. In between the first and second double crochet, there's a space there, and also do the same on the other side and make a single crochet. So that's how we are going to align. Go into the space between the third double crochet and the second and do the same on the other side and do a single crochet. So in this chain 1 space, place a single crochet. That's enough. Then go into this in between the stitches with 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the chain 1 space, make a single crochet. Don't forget, we are attaching this side to this side. So go ahead and continue doing that, joining the 2 sides together like that. Then when you come to the corner here, you're going to place 2 single crochets in there, 1 and then 2. And now we are at this point where the extensions are. you're going to attach them along this line. Go into that corner, there's a corner somewhere there. You're still going to place 2 double crochets in that corner, 1 and 2. Sorry, 2 single crochets, not double crochets. So you're going to go in between the stitches on both sides. Make sure the one you work in on one side is the same exact stitch you're working in on the other side. Just placing single crochets. Then in the chain 1 space, you're going to place a single crochet, only 1. So the number of stitches you should do for this, you should make sure it doesn't tamper with the shape of the shirts. So we are continuing to go in between the stitches. And now we're at the corner here, and we're going to place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Sorry. And this is where we're going to stop for now. You're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. So this is how our shirt looks like right now. This is the side where we've joined from, and this is the right side of our work. You can see the seam line is almost invisible. So we are going to go ahead and do the same exact thing. So this is the crotch area, this one. So we are going to fold our work again and do the same exact thing for this side, for this side. So turn your work onto the wrong side, and I'm going to go ahead and attach, and then I'll see you when I'm at this point. Okay, so right now I'm done with the second side, and I'm going to just chain 1 and cut my yarn just like I did for the other part, for the opposite part. So you should have 2 squares that have protruded to the bottom on both sides. You have 2 here and 2 here. So you're going to attach them, and we are going to now join this part, that bottom part, to create the shirts. This is going to help us to create the leg holes of our shirts. So grab your yarn, you can see the shirts have started shaping out, but without joining this bottom part, we can't get shirts as yet. So go into this corner and into the other corner on the other side, and then attach your yarn and place 2 single crochets because it's a corner. Then start working in the stitches, in between the stitches, and aligning while attaching them to each other with single crochets. Like that. So when you get here, this is a corner, so you place 2 single crochets in here on this side, and then do the same on this other side, because there should be 2 corners. 1 and 2, and go back to joining in between stitches This shirt is quite easy, though time consuming because of the motifs. You have to do many of them, but once you get the motifs right, then you're good to go. So we are back to the corner, and we are going to place 2 single crochets. This is one, and then the second one, and now I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. At this point, the shirts are created. The general shape of the shirts is done. These may be booty shirts because they're really short. Let's turn them around and I show you. This is how they look like. I know this middle section may be a bit big for so many people, but it has a good fitting. So from here, I'll be showing you how to elongate and work around these flowers so that they settle in the middle of the shirts, so that it's not like the main thing. We are going to elongate the shirts upwards and downwards so that the flowers are in the middle section, and that's our next step. Okay, so we've come back, and this is our general shirt, the general shape of our shirts. So I would really advise, if you're a bigger size, like size large and extra large, you may want to extend this extension because these shirts are really low cut. This size wouldn't really work for you, so you would want to extend this by 2 boxes on one side and 1 box on the other side, so that it's not so long at the same time. So you will have, let me say for my case it was 5 and 7. So for you, if I was changing it into extra large and I had to make 5 or let me say 7 boxes, so the lower side, instead of having 9 on one side, it would have 10 instead of 9. So let me get a pen and explain it clear. Okay, so I had 5 for mine, but for an extra large, instead of having 1 extra one here, you will have an extra box on this side, and then do the same on the other side. But this time you will put it on this other side, so that you have an extension of 3 boxes instead of 2. Me, I have 2 boxes extension. When I join, you can see the extension is by 2 boxes. So please go ahead and have 3 boxes, otherwise it's going to be really uncomfortable and very low cut. It may not be even like wearable for you. You have an extension of 3 boxes if you're large to extra large. So I went ahead to also notice that this is really low cut, and I'm so into high-waisted shirts, so I'm going to be adding a layer of boxes upwards. The good thing, we are done with the shaping of the shirts, so I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of more boxes. So since I had 10 around, I'm going to do 10 more around, so that the shirts can go a bit up and they're not so low cut. Then I'll show you how to work on the downer part. Let me first finish this upper side. Okay, so here we are. I went ahead to add another layer of the boxes. So now I have 2 layers of 10 boxes, then the one that had the split of the legs. And this is how my shirt looks like right now. You can see there like 3 flowers running down instead of 2, because this was really low cut and I wanted a high waist something. So the other thing I'm going to do is to work on the waistband, the place that's going to have the drawstring. So determine your back side and identify the exact middle. So my exact middle is somewhere here. So you're going to attach your black yarn there, and you're going to chain 3 and place another double crochet in this same space. And now we're going to be placing double crochets in between the stitches. Like now, in between this one and this one, you go in here with a double crochet. Then in between this one and this one, you go in between here with a double. Then do 1 double crochet in this chain 1 space, and then place 1 double crochet in between the stitches. Then make 1 double crochet here in the chain 1 space. Then make a double crochet in between the stitches. So when you come to the corner, you're going to place 2 here in this space, and then 2 also on the other side. So that's the repeat of this row. You're going to go ahead and do that all the way around. So the only place that gets 2 stitches is the corners, these corners here, where the boxes meet each other. You put 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. So go all the way around. So when you get here, you place 1 double crochet in between the stitches, and in the chain 1 space you're going to place 1 double crochet, then 1 double crochet in between the stitches, then 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then 1 double crochet in each of the spaces between the stitches, and then 2 double crochets, because this is where the boxes meet each other. So 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. So that's all you're going to do for this row. We want just a row of plain double crochets. This helps us to get a straight edging at the top, and also to make the top part of our short neat. So go all the way around, and I'll see you when you're done with that. Okay, so after my row of double crochets, I chained 1 and cut my yarn. I have only 1 row. If you wish to make it more high-waisted, you can do some more rows upwards. So for me, this was satisfying. This was the measurement I wanted. So I made a very long chain of about 300 chains to 250 chains, 250 to 300. So I'm going to put it through that row that we've just made. So I'm going to just go in and out of every 2 stitches. This will make our waist adjustable, because remember, when we are making shorts, we base on the measurement of the hips. So putting this string helps us to gather the shorts together so that it can have a better fitting in the waist area, especially for people who have snatched waists, very small waists compared to their hips. So continue doing that. Every 2 stitches, in and out. Okay, so right now I'm done. And this is how you'll be able to adjust this waist area of your shorts. So let me tie that. And right now, my shorts were very short for me, and I wanted to elongate them. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this part of the shorts. for those who would want to elongate your shirts a bit so that they don't show butt cheeks or anything. So I've worked on this side and this is how it looks like. I'm going to be showing you how to do the same exact thing on this other side because this is still very short. So you're going to grab your black and then you're going to attach it in any space, any chain one space. So let me choose this one. Attach it here and then chain 3 and place 2 more double crochets in that same space. So that will count as 3 double crochets. Then chain 1 and we are going to place a total of 3 double crochets at this point. So you're going to place 1 double crochet in this space, 1 double crochet in the middle section here, and 1 on the other side. So that's a total of 3 double crochets. Chain 1, go into the next space and place 3 double crochets. Chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. Chain 1. Then you're going to find a way to place only 3 double crochets at this point. So I'll place 2 on this side because I can't insert my hook somewhere here. This was our joining part, so it's really hard to put a stitch through like at this point. So I'll put the last one on this side like that. Chain 1, go into the next chain 1 space and place 3 double crochets. Chain 1, place 3 double crochets in the next space. So you're going to go all the way around doing that. So after my first row of extension, I'm coming to the end, so I'll just chain 1 and slip stitch on top of the very first chain 3 like that, and this row is done. So I'll chain 3 and turn my work and do the same exact row. Place 2 more double crochets in this space and go all the way around. Chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next space. Chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next space. Chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next space. So I'm going to go all the way around, do the second row, then attach here, and then chain 1 and turn and do the third row. I did a total of 3 rows, so this is my second row, and I'll do my third row, and I'll come back to show you how to do this ribbed edging for the shirts, for the bottom of the shirts. So go ahead and finish up this row and do another row. Don't forget to turn after the end of this row. I'm coming to the end of my third row. I'll go into the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the row and slip stitch to join. So you can see we've done a total of 3 rows, and now I'm going to be showing you how to do the ribbed effect at the bottom of the shirts, just like this side. So you're going to slip stitch until you get to a chain 1 space. So I'll slip stitch into this space and slip stitch into this. So we shall be in a chain 1 space. So you're going to chain 1 and single crochet in that very space, and then you're going to chain 3 and place 3 more double crochets in that same space, and this is going to be the repeat for the whole row. After the 3 double crochets, you're going to single crochet in the next space, chain 3, double crochet 3 times in that very space, single crochet in the next space, chain 3, double crochet 3 times in the next in the same space, sorry. So single crochet in the next space, chain 3, double crochet 3 times in the same space. So that's the repeat for the whole row. Go ahead and keep doing that. So this gets repetitive, but the moment you master what you have to do, then it becomes very easy to work on it. This just adds beauty to the bottom of the shirt so that we don't leave the stitches hanging. It's like a seal for the bottom of the shirts. So you can see it looks beautiful at the bottom, just like this side. It's the same exact effect that we are creating on this side. So you're going to go ahead and just do the same exact thing until the end of the row. So we're in the last space and we're going to do the same exact thing. Single crochet, chain 3 and 3 more double crochets in that same space. And now we are going to finish up by placing a slip stitch in the very first single crochet of the round. And then you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. So at this point you're done with this, with the edging. You're going to weave in your ends. This is how our shirt has come out. I hope you like it. We've come to the end of the tutorial. I hope the instructions were very easy to follow and very clear. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like, comment, give a thumbs up if you liked this tutorial. And I can't wait to see your version of these shirts, whatever colors that you've chosen to use for the sunflower shirts. I'll call them the sunflower shirts because my main color has been black and yellow, so I didn't have so much drama for the floral pattern, but you can choose to use any colors that you wish. I hope you enjoyed the whole tutorial. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.